In addition to announcements in Google Classroom, you can also give assignments, quiz assignments, ask a question, or push out material. To do any of those, you go to the Classwork tab and click Create. Here you will see assignments, ignore the Cami, quiz assignments, questions, or material. Material is good for things like your syllabus. Questions are ways to ask a open-ended or single multiple choice question. Again, you can attach anything to it. Quiz, you can build a quiz using Google Forms. And then reuse post makes it really easy to go in and find assignments that you've given in other classes and then simply click on them and reuse them right away. You can find assignments that you've given in previous periods, previous semesters, previous school years. To give an assignment, again, you'll click Create an Assignment. You must give it a title. You have the option of adding instructions here, or you can add instructions in the form of another attachment. You can attach as many things as you want by clicking Add and then selecting an attachment from your Google Drive, a link to a website, a file uploaded from your computer, or a YouTube video. You can also create any of these Google things directly in the assignment. You can assign assignments to multiple classes at the same time simply by selecting those classes by checking the boxes. You can also select individual students if you have students in your class. The assignment will default to 100 points. You can change that point value anywhere from ungraded to whatever point value you want to give it. You do not have to give a due date, but you can simply click, it defaults to the next day. If you want to select a later day, you can do that and select a time, which probably don't want to make it midnight, maybe something a little more reasonable. Setting the due date and time does not cut students off from turning in an assignment. It will just mark what they've turned in as late if they do it after the due date and or time. You can give assignments a topic. There are no pre-created topics. You will create your own. You could do topics by the type of assignment, classwork, quiz, test, project, homework, or you could do it by chapter 1, 2, 3, or by the name of the unit, photosynthesis, or the book you're reading, Romeo and Juliet. So the topic is completely up to you. Also do it by time period. If you wish, you can create a rubric right inside of Google Classroom. You can do this just by clicking on that, coming up with your own criteria, description, how many points you want the rubric to be. That is completely up to you. And then originality reports, you are limited to 3 of these per classroom. What it does is any work turned in by students, it will essentially do a Google search of what they've turned in. It'll flag any sections that look like they've been copy and pasted from a website. Students can also run their own originality reports with 3 times per assignment, so they can see if they pass those originality report tests. Again, you only have 3 of those per class, so you probably want to save them for larger writing assignments. Once you've included any attachments that you wanted to include, come up with your due date and time, point value, topics, rubrics, originality reports. You also, when you assign anything googly, docs, sheets, slides, drawings, you will have 3 choices for how those are shared. Students can view, meaning view only. Students can edit, meaning all students are editing the same document. So it's very rare that you will want to do that. And what you will probably want to do most often is make a copy for each student. What this will do is copy your template that belongs to you as the teacher. It will copy that and share that copy with each of your students. It will rename it with the student's name in the title of the document. It will automatically be shared between you, the teacher, and the student, so you can immediately start looking at their work. And it will organize it in your Google Drive in the Google Classroom folder. So once your assignment is all set, you still have some options. You can go ahead and assign it right now by clicking the Assign button, or if you click on the drop down next to it, you will have a couple other options. You can schedule it to go out at a specific time. So if you wanted to plan for the following week and you didn't want it to show up until Monday at 8 a.m., you can go to Schedule. You can select the date that you want it to show up, whatever time you want it to show up, and then you can click Schedule. Here I have to change it because I have it due on Friday. Or on the drop down, you can just save it as a draft. And when you do that, it will show up in draft. It'll be sort of grayed out in your classwork tab. And when you're ready to go back and edit it, you can just click on it, click Edit Assignment. And again, you can assign it right then and there, or you can schedule it. You'll also notice that anytime I go in and make changes, it will, up in the top right, save, automatically saved. And so all your changes are essentially saved immediately. And so you don't have to worry about losing anything. Again, once you're ready to assign it, you will click Assign. And it will now be viewable by your students. Students will see a preview of it in the stream or the full version in classwork. If in the stream they click on it, it will then pull up the instructions and any resources. Anything that you did file make a copy will show up in the top right over here. It does look a little different for the teacher. Going back to my classwork page, I don't have any students currently in this class, but if your students are already in, it will tell you how many students have turned in the assignment and how many it has been assigned, but they have not turned it in. Whether they turn it in or not, you can go ahead and start viewing their work and even give them a grade. Students will show up here and their work will show up over here. You can click and view it in the student work section. And that is how you give assignments using Google Classroom.